Good morning. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, December 4th. This is It Happened Today in History. Hope you enjoy them. I enjoy making them. Please watch the entire video. Like, follow, share. Help a guy out. Let's get started. In 1991, hostage Terry Anderson is freed in Lebanon. In 1867, Oliver Kelly organizes Grange. Didn't know what that was either, so I went further into it, and we'll just go through it. Former Minnesota farmer Oliver Hudson Kelly founds the Grange, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which became a powerful political force among Western farmers. Though he grew up in Boston, Kelly decided in his early 20s he wanted to become a farmer. In 1849, he booked passage on a steamboat for St. Paul, Minnesota. Though the Minnesota area was dominated by Okay, let's start over. Though the Minnesota area was dominated more by the Indian trade than farming, Kelly shrewdly saw that the future of the region lay in agriculture, and he proved to be a skilled and progressive farmer. Kelly gained local fame for boldly experimenting with new crops, installing an elaborate irrigation system, and buying one of the first mechanical reapers in the state. His attempt at scientific farming and a series of columns he wrote for the national newspapers brought him national recognition. In 1864, he won a prestigious clerking position under the Federal Commission of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. While on tour through the southern farms in 1866, Kelly was struck by the warm reception he received from his fellow Masons in the South, despite the otherwise pervasive dislike of Northerners left over from the Civil War. Determined to develop a national organization to unify farmers, he returned to Washington and gathered a group of like-minded friends. In 1867, these men became the founders of the Order of the Patrons of Husbandry, better known as Grange. Although the Grange, like the Masons, began primarily as a social organization designed to provide education and recreational opportunities for farmers, it evolved into a medical political force. Farmers who gathered at local Grange halls often voiced similar complaints about the high rates charged by the warehouses and railroads to handle their grain. They began to organize for state and federal controls over these pivotal economic issues. The Grange smartly recognized the importance of including women, who proved to be the organization's most dedicated members. The Grange political activism resulted in a flurry of legislation became known as the Granger Laws. Granger. Yeah, okay, I've been pronouncing it wrong. It's Grange. The laws, which were not very effective in solving farmers' problems with the railroads and warehouses, but did provide a crucial precedent for state and federal organizations of private enterprises for the public interest. Yeah, things that people don't know. In 1780, George Washington's cousin tricks Loyalists. A force of Continental Dragoons, commanded by Colonel William Washington, George Washington's second cousin once removed, corners Loyalist Colonel Roland Wrigley and his followers in Wrigley's house and barn near Camden, South Carolina on December 4th, 1780. After nearly a year of brutal backcountry conflicts between Washington and the fierce British commander, Lieutenant Colonial Bannister Tarleton, who was emphasis for the Tarleton Quarter, or the murder of the colonial POWs on March 29, 1780, at Waxhaws. Washington had retreated to North Carolina the previous October. Commanded to return to South Carolina Theater by Brigadier General Daniel the Old Wagoner Morgan, Colonel Washington lacked the proper artillery to dislodge the Loyalists. He told his cavalrymen to dismount and surround the barn. While out of Riley's sight, Washington's men fabricated a pine log to resemble a cannon. The Quaker gun trick, named so because Quakers used it to intimidate without breaching their pacifist vow of nonviolence, worked beautifully. Washington faced the cannon toward the building in which the Loyalists had barricaded themselves and threatened to bombard if they did not surrender. Shortly after, Riley surrendered his entire force without firing a single shot. In 1992, President Bush orders U.S. troops to Somalia. In the American Revolution, okay, we got that one. American Revolution, 1783. George Washington bids farewell to his officers. In crime, in 1928, Irish Godfather killed by car bomb in St. Paul, Minnesota. In 1969, police killed 2 members of the Black Panther Party. In 2009, Amanda Knox convicted of murder in Italy. In natural disasters and environment, in 2012, Typhoon Pablo kills over 1,000 people in the Philippines. In sports, in 1997, NBA suspends Lateral Sperwell for attacking coach. In World War I, in 1917, psychiatrist reports on the phenomenon of shell shock. In World War II, 1942, Polish Christians come to the aid of Polish Jews. And there you have it. It happened today in history. Hope you enjoyed them. I'll see you tomorrow.